Hey lovelies, Lisa here with another hashtag 78 days. Today I'll be doing two videos because I was naughty yesterday and did not film the Three of Cups yesterday. So Three of Cups and then onward to the Four of Cups. But before I dive in to one of the cheeriest and most delightful of all of the 78, the Three of Cups, I want to say a few words about something regarding the aces of the minor arcana, because I think it's relevant for the journey of the cups and similarly the journey of the pentacles. So here's the thing about the aces. You know, this is a depiction going back to the 1651 Marseille Tarot, the Noblet Tarot. This is Jean-Claude Fournat's really beautiful reproduction of that deck. The thing about the aces is that alone of all of the cards in Pamela Coleman Smith's 1909 deck, the aces really replicate the imagery of the Marseille. I mean, it's the place where she's most faithful to the Marseille imagery, and I think it's because the aces really get it right from Smith's perspective and from Waite's perspective. The aces depict the energy of the suit as a gift being offered freely and mysteriously from beyond. You know, this hand that's emerging out of this cloud-like flourish. Look how much Smith replicates that, down to the fronds emerging from the crown. So we've got the right hand holding the sword. We've got a match set now. The left hand is holding the wand. And both are depicting so strongly the sense in which the element of the suit, the energy of the suit, is this gift. And this invitation then for the tarot and our relationship to the tarot to be one of taking in, taking up, joining in the energy of that gift and skillfully expanding it, empowering it, enlivening it in our own worlds, in our own hearts, our own bodies, and our minds. Now, that's what happens with the pointy suits, with the stabby, jabby suits of the swords and the wands. When we get to the Marseille imagery for the round suits, you know, the female suits, if we want to go there for the distinction between discs and cups on the one hand and wands and swords on the other. In the Marseille, we no longer have the imagery of a hand holding the suit forward. Instead, the disc is standing on its own. It's got its lovely flourish. You can flip it upside down. It can still stand. It's nice. It's self-sufficient. And the cup is on its own base. Pixie, however, continues to depict this hand. She matches the sort of envisioning of the swords and wands aces with hands for the pentacles and hands for the cups. What I like about the Marseille tradition is that when the hands are taken away, what we see with both the discs and the cups is that there's a kind of energy here that maybe isn't so much about, in the end, individual agency, isn't so much about the power of the creator, artist, innovator, or the power of the ruler, intellect, communicator, inventor, but is instead something that transcends individuality. And in fact, both of these suits culminate in images of community and of the ways in which the energy of the suit is most powerfully fulfilled in community. In Wands and Swords, the trajectory of the minor arcana there seems to point toward the struggle between individual and society and the ways in which that plays out over the course of those 10 cards. Here, we're from the get-go being reminded that this is something beyond the individual self. And hence, the duality of the Two of Cups shows us the ways in which an individual self mirrored by another individual self, somehow the whole is greater than the sum of the parts. That partnership, you know, yesterday I was talking about it in terms of the miracle of romantic love as depicted in Juliet's words to Romeo on the balcony. That partnership, again, it's like this suit is reminding us, hey, this is bigger than an individual. Whatever the cups are about, love, the spirit the heart, the flow of emotion, the flow of divine caring, whatever it's about, it's bigger than me from the get-go. It feels that way. It's not just that I need to learn that it's that way. I actually know from the start this is about the way in which I am already and always already joined to others. So when we get to the 3, oh my gosh, you know, this is the card of celebration, this is the card of community, this is the card of joy, this is the card of coming together. It's the card of grace, really, a grace that is about how in community we find real joy and satisfaction. So before I look at the deck for today, I want to recall the imagery that Pixie is so obviously denoting here. Of the
So
three, Botticelli
graces.
depicts the 3 graces in his painting Primavera. The 3 graces, you know, are these minor deities. There were more than 3, but the 3 main ones are Aglaea, splendor or brilliance, Euphrosyne, mirth or joy, and Thalia, that gets translated, I guess, as abundance or good cheer. So, you know, these three goddesses of what I was calling the other day in my, I think my Ace of Cups video, the sort of Pema Chodron, that Buddhist teacher's notion of a cheerfulness practice. These are the deities, the goddesses of that kind of cheerfulness practice, reminding us of a world that's abundant, a world that's shining and beautiful, and a world that is filled with joy. You know, this is what this cup is running over with. You know, that sense of abundance, joy, that sense of brilliance, of shining beauty, of beauty, right? Of love, of the heart in its most watery, energized and energizing, nourishing character. So, yeah, the deck that I wanted to look at today, because it's a deck that the sheer qualities of which fill me with that kind of joy, is the Circo Tarot. And the Suit of Cups, which I'm going to find, and it will be right here where I want it. The Suit of Cups in this deck. I mean, first of all, the deck as a whole, it's just brilliant. I mean, literally, it's shining. It's got this high gloss to it, but the colors and the graphics, the joyousness of this deck, right, is so cuppy. I love the idea of this kind of complete, beautiful reflection of the 2 of Cups, a duality that's not a duality. It's a ever replenishing, sharing, beating heart. Like it's a duality, like the 2 chambers of the heart are. You know, the lub-dub of the heart pounding, and then we have our graces, and it's just beautiful and cheery making. The 4 of Cups, we'll talk about that a little bit later. The invitation of this suit, then, is how do we embrace a world that is freely flowing, that is full of joy and abundance and beautiful, shiny splendor? How do we embrace that world? How do we keep that world flourishing? How do our actions contribute to the world's manifesting that sense of beauty and joy, that shininess, that grace? So I think that's what I got for today. May your day be filled with grace. May it be cuppy. May your cup runneth over. And may there be lots of wonderful beings around you to take up whatever spills out of your ever-flowing, overflowing cup. As always, I'm so grateful to you for joining me on this 78-day journey. I wish you well. Thank you.